Yeah, she had a nice clutch. Whoa, don't bite me, girl. Alright guys, that's right. It is the 300th episode of this vlog. Now, it's not 300 in a row, but it is our 300th episode. I cannot thank you guys enough for all of your support, and welcome to the vlog this morning. I hope the start of your day is absolutely amazing. I had to ask myself a question that in 300 vlogs, and I'm not sure how many of you have watched all 300 vlogs. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, comment down below and let me know, have you watched every one of these vlogs? If you haven't, there's a playlist for last year and this year's right down in my description, so definitely check them out if you'd like to. But I was wondering, in those 300 vlogs, what do you think that I do for a living? I mean, what do you think my daily life is? I'm curious about that. So I figured today, not only would I do some of my work, but I'd also kind of try to find out what it is that I do for a living. So what do you say we get this day started? I guess we'll get started with what I do best, which is, of course, working with reptiles and pulling some eggs. This girl actually was one of the ones the other day that I showed you guys that said, oh, she's out of her box and she's not ready to lay. Well, guess what? She laid her clutch of eggs. So let's go ahead and see what she's got going on. And again, you can see this pretty girl right here. She's just actually an aberrant California king snake. And again, that aberrant Cal king is kind of a wild trait. You basically have two different things. You have striping and you have banding, and then sometimes with the stripe and banding bred together, you get the aberrant ones. And ultimately, that's where like the banana Cal king started from, is the aberrants, and then people just started breeding the highest yellow or highest white one over and over and over again, and eventually getting higher and higher ones. So it's called polygenic. Regardless, here's that clutch of eggs. Ooh, it's a nice clutch of eggs too, except oh, a little slug here. And again, someone asked the other day, like, how do you know a slug? I mean, you could see this, see how it's yellow and squishy and kind of oblong, as opposed to these ones that are certainly oblong, but they're nice and big and plump and white, and they don't look kind of like weird corners to them. So anyways, not a bad clutch. We got 2, 4, 6 eggs and 1 slug. This is another one of the female albino Nelsons that I showed the other day that looked big and fat but hadn't laid. So let's see what she's got going on in here. Ooh, that's a nice clutch. 2, 4, 6, 7 eggs. How awesome is that? So, you know, basically my point is, guys, is that I'll always be a reptile guy, and you know, that's who I am. I mean, since I told the story a million times, my first memory as a kid when I was 2 years old was of a ball python. Not my mom, not my dad, not my siblings, but of a ball python. So, you know, I don't think that I'll ever be anything but a reptile guy, but that doesn't mean that I don't have other aspirations in life, you know? I can do other things besides reptiles and still be happy. That doesn't mean that somehow if I'm doing something else that I all of a sudden don't love reptiles. As a matter of fact, some of my critics will kind of say that. They'll say like, you know, Brian used to love animals, now all he cares about is fame, or all he cares about is you know, doing his YouTube show. You know, listen, just because I want to do things like YouTube and other things, big things like Reptile Prime, doesn't mean that somehow I've lost my passion for the animals. I mean, that's just a weird statement. Who thinks that, you know, when you reach for the next thing, somehow you leave the other things behind? Life is about expanding our horizons, right? And it's about, you know, moving to the next step. And when you move to the next step, it doesn't mean that you leave everything behind. You can still love those things, like I love reptiles, but I can be reaching for the next thing, the bigger thing, the thing that I really want to achieve. So anyways, I'll always be a reptile guy. But anyways, back to eggs. Oh, look at that clutch, guys. All right, this happens to be a het strawberry snow, because you guys know I love that strawberry snow stuff. It's just really beautiful. But look at this clutch of eggs right here. Ooh, that's a nice clutch. Wow. Good job, mama. You're doing so good. Come on, girl. And of course, you know, Lori's really responsible for the great colubrid year that we're having, much like Jessica is responsible for the great leopard gecko year that we're having. And of course, Kelsey was responsible for the great ball python year, which leads me to start thinking, what am I responsible for? Lori, this is the 300th vlog, and I'm trying to decide, like, what do I do? What do you think I do?
Probably get ice cream.
I get ice cream? Or do you want ice cream?
We should get ice cream.
But that didn't answer my question. What would you say that I do?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm not answering that.
What?
No, I'm not answering that.
Do I do anything?
You do what you do great.
Okay, back to eggs. This clutch had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 eggs. Just a couple more clutches to pull. This is another het strawberry sun-kissed corn snake right here. So let's see what she's got. Oh, look at that. Another nice clutch. That's another big clutch. Wow. That's really nice. These eggs are just a little bit smaller than the last one, but there's a lot of them here. Let's see what they have. Let's see, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. How weird is that? 17 eggs. And this is the mama here. Good job. Way to go. And again, they look really nice. I mean, they'll start feeding here in the next 7 or 10 days, and then we make decisions on whether they're, they have the body weight to breed them for a second clutch, or if we're going to give them the rest of the year off just to beef up that particular animal, as well as the one before. Definitely great body weight. They're going to be easy to breed the second time for sure. So let's get these 17 eggs set up. Okay, just a Pueblan clutch and then one more corn snake clutch. Oh, this girl's already out of her box, so that's a good sign. Look at, she is definitely deflated. She had a lot of eggs. Judging by the fact that she's this deflated, I think that this is gonna be a pretty big clutch. And that's a perfect example of one animal that may not breed a second time, because it looks like she really used a lot of her body energy to lay this clutch of eggs. So again, she may beef up after 1 or 2 meals, and then we might breed her late, but if not, we'll go ahead and give her the rest of the year off. But let's see what she has. I'm assuming it's a good clutch. Oh yeah, that is a good clutch. Look at that. Not a bad clutch at all. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs. 9 eggs from a Pueblan, that's a pretty good clutch. And the last clutch is this phantom corn snake that I've been pretty excited about, because the other day I actually showed you guys her in her nest box. She looked really big, and plus I just love phantom corn snakes. So these are really beautiful. And essentially what this is a ghost type B aneurystic. And the type B aneurystic is what they call a charcoal. So this is a ghost charcoal, otherwise known as a phantom corn. But anyway, yeah, she had a nice clutch. Whoa, don't bite me, girl. Okay, it's okay, sweetie. Back in your cage. Okay, it's kind of not as big of a clutch as I expected, to be honest with you, because she looked like she was exploding with eggs. But it's still not a bad clutch. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 eggs, not that bad of a way to end the egg collecting day. I'll see if there's any other eggs, like with ball pythons or anything else like that. And then I'll continue to figure out what I do around here. Okay, Tina, you've been here for a couple months or whatever, a bit now. What would you say I do here?
You vlog.
I vlog? That's it?
Mm.
I guess I vlog.
No, you breathe.
Okay, so I guess that my responsibility here at BHB is vlogging. Okay, so the truth is, Tina is right. I do vlog all day. I mean, that's kind of part of my job. I mean, I am always trying to set up the coolest shots. I'm trying to think of ways to tell a story each and every day, because that's kind of what I do. And yes, it is an all-day event. Now, the truth be told, I typically do vlog from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed, but I'm basically doing the majority of my work during the morning hours, where I edit and then film and so on like that. And then typically I'll do more snake work after 4 or 5 o'clock when most people are gone. That being said, I am no longer responsible for entirely taking care of anything, to be totally honest with you. Jessica takes care of the geckos, Kelsey oversees the ball pythons and other pythons, Andrea does the baby snakes and other pythons, and of course me and Lori kind of split duties a little bit with the colubrids. But I kind of try to get my hands in everything. That being said, I'm not really the guy that is 100% on it, because I'm traveling so much and I'm doing so many different things. If I was 100% responsible for certain animals, they probably wouldn't be getting cared for the way, but that doesn't mean that I don't love them. I'm still giving them the opportunity to get taken care of by great people. These girls absolutely love the animals, and they do everything they can possibly do to give them everything they want. So yes, I do vlog the majority of the time, and to be honest with you, yes, that's kind of part of my job, and I love it. I love editing. I love coming up with stories. Hey, Zeusy. Hi, buddy. How are you doing? And I love just kind of bringing you guys along on this journey. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. But just because I do that a lot doesn't mean that I don't love other things. You know, I still love the animals. I've just moved in a direction to get you guys excited about what I do for a living and how amazing these animals are. And then, of course, there's all the other things that are going on in my life, like Reptile Prime and all the other millions of projects that I have going on, most of which I bring you guys on, but some you guys don't even see because it's too boring to tell you. But I wonder if that's starting to get a clearer message of what I do for a living. Okay, Kelsey, I've got a question for you.
Okay, what's up?
What would you describe my job responsibility to be here at BHB?
Your job responsibility? You're the talent.
Your jokes are so stupid, I find that funny.
Well, there you go. I'm the talent, guys. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, I could be talentless. I appreciate that, Kelsey. Thank you for the vote of confidence. So, you know, in a lot of ways, it's kind of is true that I'm a full-time vlogger, but not really so much so. The difference really between me running my vlog as well as my social media, because again, I take care of all the Instagram, Twitter, most of the YouTube with some help from Steph, and then Steph basically really helps with Facebook and the BHB social media, so she's really great. But the fact is that is really a full-time job. Most people that do what I do, that's what they do for a living. You know, and that can certainly somewhat be a disadvantage to someone like me because, you know, I could literally put 60, 70, 80 hours a week into social media and YouTubing and vlogging and snake bites and all the other things. But the fact is, I do still have to run BHB. I still have to get Reptile Prime off the ground, and I still have to do all the other things that I'm involved in. So I'm not complaining by any stretch because, to be honest with you, in a way, I love being a YouTuber. I mean, I love the fact that when I can tell someone, like, what do you do for a living? You know, I tell them, well, listen, I run a reptile place, I have a reptile supply place, and I'm a YouTuber, and I'm proud to be a YouTuber. To me, that's an accomplishment that I really should be proud of because it's been an amazing experience. You got to remember, when I started YouTubing, it was really about, you know, cute cat videos and people with little home video cameras. No one knew what kind of a business it was going to be, much like the reptile business. When I started breeding reptiles, no one really knew that people were going to make a living breeding reptiles. And I guess in honesty, I'm always kind of reinventing myself. So we're 300 vlogs in, and I'm not even really sure what I do for a living or what my most important responsibilities are. In a way, they're all important to me, and they'll continue to be important to me. And my guess is that 6 months from now, there'll be something else that's important to me that'll be added to those list of things. So that's just the way my life is, and I appreciate that you guys have been along with me for 300 episodes of this vlog, and I hope you'll stick around for another 300 or 1,000 or whatever it might be, because together we have the best family on the internet, in my opinion. The Checkies are the most positive out there. I even read a comment the other day that said, I've been reading these comments since March and I have yet to come across negativity. That's awesome. You guys should be proud of yourself. Let's go ahead and get an update on Speedy and see how he's doing at the house. A lot of people have been asking about how Speedy's been doing, so I figured I'd give you a little bit of an update. He's definitely mowing down the grass pretty good, but I brought him a little bit of a treat to see if he wants this. I'm not sure. He's been out eating all day, so he may or may not be interested, but he's been doing absolutely great out here. The weather has been really good lately, so it's been nice and hot and sunny. So he's been out, and every morning I come out and he's cruising around and he's eating. And then by about this time of the day in the evening, he usually goes back into his little hiding spot right over there, his little cave. And so he's doing really good. But let's go ahead and see if he's interested in any treats. All right, so there is your Speedy update. Obviously, he's doing extremely well out here, and he is super happy. I'll bring home the Speedy cam here in the next couple days, and we'll just let him loose and just let him run around and give you guys the Speedy cam. How's that sound? So, but he is absolutely amazing. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night or morning or whenever you happen to be watching it. You guys tuning in and giving me all the support means the world to me. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate you. Can you do me a favor and smash that like button and hit the notification bell? I heard yesterday that everyone was starting to get notifications again, so maybe YouTube fixed the problem. We'll see. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know if you've been continuing to get notifications. As always, guys, make sure to be kind to somebody. It really does make a difference in other people's lives, and I promise I'm going to see you tomorrow.